Very
I
much.
had 3 more seconds and I had the whole thing.
Just,
I was supposed to have 3 minutes.
sir, thank you. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
It's the JR Show from Studio 99 at the American General Media Complex. On air at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Online at kernradio.com. Now, here is your host, JR.
Top of the day. Whoa, we got to plug it in. Hold on. There we go. Top of the day. It helps. It works when it's plugged in better, Chris. I remember my first day on radio. Top of the day to you. This is the JR Show. I am your host, JR Flores. You're listening to Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. You can download the Kern Radio app to your smart device. Take us wherever you go. Plus, we're streaming live on YouTube. That's right. Head over to YouTube. Search up Kern Radio. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Come live with us every single day at 2 o'clock. And hold on. I got to do something just for the YouTube, Chris. Hold on. Wow. Wait, hold on.
That's the wrong color. That'd be purple. That's not it either.
Wow.
There you go.
Dodger blue. Got to go with the Dodger blue in the background, Chris.
It's a little deep for Dodger
blue.
A
little deep.
But it's we get the
not
message.
options. Let me see. Oh, how's that? That's more purple.
No, that's more purple.
That's
yeah.
more purple.
Let's
go blue. No,
that's more
more
teal.
turquoise.
Yeah.
That's it.
There we go.
Hold on. Switch that one.
There you go.
Boom.
More Dodger blue.
Let's go Dodgers, as game 1 of the World Series is tonight. You can hear that on our sister station. Pre-game starting at 4 p.m. A whole hour long pre-game. First pitch a little bit after 5 p.m. Of course, you just listen to the Ralph Bailey Show starting at that time, and he'll let you know what's going on so you won't miss a thing. You can also find us on social media. Just search up Kern Radio, Facebook, Instagram, and X. I am also out there, JR Flores, or why not JR? Not only is it World Series Friday, but it's a What the Faith Friday. We'll talk to Pastor Angelo Frazier. You'll remember a couple weeks ago, the school board had taken up the 10 commandments and whether to display them in public schools. We'll debate that with Pastor Angelo. He's for it. He's a big proponent. He's been, are they even still relevant? Ooh, what the faith did JR say? Yeah, we'll break all of that down. Prop 50, a new poll is out, and if you haven't filled out your ballot, you better, because this poll says it's most likely pass. We'll break down the numbers and, again, remind you why you should vote. What happened?
I actually was meant to tell you this. I don't know if it was for Prop 50, but I had a door knocker yesterday.
Really?
At 8 o'clock at night.
8 o'clock at night?
Yeah. It actually kind of concerned
me. Did you answer it?
I did, yes.
What did he want?
Well, no, I mean, they rang my doorbell and banged on the door very
like they were the police.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the kid opened, or I opened the door, and the kid said, are you this person? I said, who's asking?
Who are you?
And they said, oh, well, I'm just here to sign up new Democrats for this campaign, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm going to stop you right there. You can move right along. I'm good.
Go 2 doors down.
But I was
that guy will talk to you.
8 o'clock at night? Like, what are you doing? Especially knocking like you're the police.
I would have invited him in. See what we do when we get those guys. We waste as much of their time as we possibly can.
Not 8 o'clock at night.
They can't knock on doors.
I'm trying to relax and go to bed here. I don't need to be talking to nobody.
Invited him in, offered him a soda. I wasn't home last night, or else he probably knocked on my door.
I actually was going to ask you that too. My roommate had walked over and said, hey, is JR know if he got knocked on? I was like, I have no idea. I'll call him. And then I remembered, oh, wait, no, he's in Visalia. He has no idea.
No, I wasn't even home last night. I was in Visalia. I'll tell you about that. Me and my daughter went to go see Jamie McDonald. You'll hear some of her music today. It was a worship concert down at Legacy Church. Small little 600 people. I was blown away. I love Jamie McDonald. She's a newer artist on the scene of Christian music. She's very fastly becoming one of my favorite artists. And got a chance to see her last night in a very intimate setting. We were down right in the front row. If you go to my Instagram, you can check out my daughter singing some of her songs. We got to meet her. My daughter got a picture. I was in the picture too. I got in the picture too. We even made her cry. There was a Q&A session before for us VIP folks. And no, I didn't fork out. It was $30 each to see this artist. That's probably going to be $75 ticket come this time next year. But they did a little Q&A and we made her cry. I just simply asked the question. I said, hey, my daughter is 8 years old. What would you tell 8-year-old Jamie McDonald? And she paused and she took a second and she got a little choked up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to make her cry. So I apologized after during the picture. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry with our question. She said, no, that's fine. It was a great question. It was a really, really good question. So thank you. And I was like, oh, thank you. Do you want to come on the show tomorrow? And I didn't say that. I should have, though. My daughter told me once we got in the car, why didn't you just ask her to come on the show, Dad?
So probably would have said yes.
So what the Faith Friday? You had the opportunity to ask her right there for the next day.
God set you up with the perfect opportunity, JR.
And I missed it. I totally fangirled it. I totally did. I was in like awe, just like, oh my gosh, it's Jamie McDonald.
What did Wayne Gretzky teach us?
I don't know. What did he?
You miss 100% of the shots
you don't take.
Sir.
That's right. I thought that was The Office.
That's the Gretz.
I thought that was Steve.
The goat of basketball.
Oh, good. Yes, you're absolutely correct. You miss 100% of the shots you didn't take, and it was either that or I was going to ask her to dinner. I probably had zero chance at either one of those. So. But we had a great time. I always enjoy going to concerts with my. What else is going on? The city council. I told you earlier in the week, we're going to talk crap. Literally, the sewer rates. I mean, you guys remember they were going to raise them up like 92%, 280% or something like that on us. Well, guess what? They still are. You didn't think that was just going to magically, did you? No, these guys have screwed up for the last 2 decades. At least a decade. And there's 2 people that have been on this council for a good majority of that last decade, and they screwed up. And now they're in a bind, and they're trying to go, oh, the growth of the city, and we really need to do this because the city has taken on. No, it's because you guys didn't do maintenance like you were supposed to over all these years, and starting to put away some money and maybe slowly, incrementally rise up those rates over periods of time to be able to bank some money that when you knew that this thing that you were told was only going to last 30 years, when it came about, 30 years, you would have some of the money. Management, city council that doesn't know how to run a city is busy riding bikes or looking for the next office to run for. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Don't know how to run a city, and now we're in a pinch, of course. And so they heard the other night different scenarios, as they're calling them, 7 different scenarios in which you're going to end up paying. They're going to get you all the way to $1,000 within 5 years. They're going to raise them up that much. Now, there was one scenario, there's 7 total, like I said. There was one that a majority, it feels like, of the council kind of agreed on. That would be scenario number 5, where there is no bond attached to it. See, we screwed up so bad that we might even have to take out a bond. Go in debt, in other words, to the tune of, on some of these rate scenarios, there's one where it's a $180 million bond. There's another one where there's a $250 million bond. There's another one where there's a $360 million bond. And there's another one where there's a $410 million bond. Now, at least we can all agree that we shouldn't go into debt for something that we should have been putting away for a while. So what does that mean? That means it's going to be passed on to you, the cost. And so where if we took out money anywhere from $180 to $410 million, They wouldn't have to pass so much on to you, but you'd still get up to $1,000 a year in sewer rates. And the one that they all agree on, which is the one that's probably most likely going to end up being the chosen one, rate scenario number 5, in the first year, and we're talking July 1st of next year, it'll be a 92% increase to $475. In the second year, it'll go up 23% to $585. Then up 19% to $695. This is over a 7-year increment. 16% on year 4 to $805. 14% on year 5 to $915. 12% in year 6 to $1,025. And 11% in year 7, getting up to $1,135. Again, that's no bond, meaning we don't go into debt, which is the most fiscally responsible thing we could do. But that would mean your monthly bill would go from, in the first year, to $40 a month, all the way up to $95 a month by year 7. And you can make the argument, yeah, that's probably what we should be paying. But had we taken a look at this even 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been such a hit, especially at a time when people are crunching as much dollars as they can just to get by. But thanks to those city leaders, again, some looking for a new job. Let's remember who put us in this position when we're going to the ballot box and going, oh yeah, this guy wants a promotion. He wants to go from city council to assemblyman. Should we vote for him? How has the city been run? Or when the Bicycle Bob wants to run for re-election because it really only benefits him and his kids. Let's be honest. They're the only ones that have gotten rich over this amount of time. The city is in poor financial place. But Bob Smith and his boys, boy, they're making a killing. Just remember that next time when he's up for re-election, don't let him run around and go, well, I found more jail beds. You know, I put that jail bed task force together. It took me 17 years to finally do something in this town besides bike lanes and padding bank accounts. Incompetence is what it is. And unfortunately, it's going to come back and have to be taken on as the burden by the citizens of this community. So just look for that. That's what's coming down. They're going to vote in January on this. They want to get it in January so they can send out that Prop 218 notice telling you the rate hikes are coming. Remember last July when they did that? What was it, June or something like that when they did that? And everybody freaked out, went to the meeting, started complaining, and then they had to resend it. And now they're holding all and had a meeting in their ward. Why we need this and how important it is to have sewers. Not one mention of how we got in this position. Heck, I almost want to the next one. Let's see where it's at. It's not in my ward. But boy, do I want to show up for it because it's an old ward number 4. You know who ward number 4 is there? Mr. Bob Smith himself. So I might just show up and ask the old question, hey, Bob, how did we get in this position? Instead of painting green lines all over the darn streets, why didn't you fix our sewer system? Let's get to a break. I've probably gotten myself in enough trouble as it is. We got to get to our guest. It is a What the Faith Friday. We'll talk about the 10 Commandments as there is a push here in the city to get those displayed in public schools. We'll talk to Pastor Angelo Frazier. is a big proponent. I'll tell him the reasons why I think maybe we shouldn't place them in public schools. Plus, your questions, comments, text messages, always welcome. 661-842-KERN, 661-842-5376. I think I have a pair of hot rod tickets in there, but the only thing is you have to get here by 4 o'clock to pick them up. So if you can get here by 4 o'clock, call right now, and Chris will hook you up with a pair of tickets to the Hot Rod Reunion happening out at Famoso Drag Strip this weekend. You got to get here by 4 o'clock to pick those up, though. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN. Tell Chris I can get them. I'll be there. On the other side of the break, we'll talk to Pastor Angelo Frazier. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll talk jobs with America's Job Center at Kern. It's basically a given I'm going to win football picks, but we'll find out by how much, and we'll back all of that up with news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on a worldwide web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I get those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You've used KV Print and Bakersfield signs for all your print marketing products throughout time. Why? Because we've been doing it right for over 35 years. And now KV Print and Bakersfield Signs are excited to unveil our brand new 10,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility. At KV Print and Bakersfield Signs, we don't just print, we help bring your brand to life. From vibrant brochures and business cards to custom vehicle wraps to branded company apparel and eye-catching storefront signage. KV Print and Bakersfield Signs provides high-quality marketing materials that get you noticed. Whether you're promoting a new product, outfitting your team, or turning your vehicle into a branding machine for your business, we've got you covered with fast turnaround, great prices, and the personalized local service you deserve. Are you ready to stand out? Visit kvprint.com or call 661-327-1772 today for a free quote. KV Print and Bakersfield Signs, your brand, your style, our print.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1783. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
So beautiful.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-1783. That's 800-575-1783. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
I need heaven and earth. Welcome back. If you haven't heard Jamie McDonald before, that is the beautiful voice of Jamie McDonald. I got a chance to see her live in concert last night. Little intimate setting, just about 600 people. Oh, it was so beautiful. Up in Legacy Church up in Visalia. Yeah, welcome back. It's the JR Show. We're sitting here with Pastor Angelo Frazier. What the Faith Friday. Welcome to the show, sir.
It's good to be here. It's good to see you. Your hair, man, is growing so long. You becomes another person almost.
How come all the bald people say they got like something to say about it?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you, sir. Fresh back from Portland, huh?
Yeah,
or from Seattle.
Yeah.
How was that?
Very beautiful. We're up there at the Apologetic Conference up there.
Okay.
Put on by Dr. Ernie Zara, and I was up there with Dr. Douglas and myself, 3 doctors, having a great old time sharing the whole word. And then at the same time, the No Kings thing was happening right outside. So I obviously took the group over there. Said, let's go practice what we preach and go meet some people.
Did you thank all of them for their protest because we all woke up the next day and still didn't have a king in America?
I questioned them. I said, we don't have a king. And one lady actually admitted, they were all seniors, by the way. They were 75. One lady actually admitted, well, he thinks he's a king. I said, well, he can think what he wants, but your sign said no king.
Yeah.
It doesn't say he thinks he's a king.
Right. That's why I thanked them all. I came in Monday. I was like, thank you guys for your time out there. You saved us.
You saved democracy. It was like close to 2,000 people out there. And we went around, talked to them. I showed them a pastor from Bakersfield. Hey, I'm up here, and
you do not shy away from crowds, sir. Not only that, you kind of stand out in them as well. You're just
someone pointed out to me that I was the only black.
Well, there's that, and then you're what, 6 foot, 5, 6?
6'8".
6'8". Yeah, you stand out in the crowd.
I'm invisible to my wife.
Well, you ain't the only one, my friend. You just got yourself in trouble. We brought you in because a couple weeks ago, they were talking about the 10 Commandments in school, and I know you're a big proponent. We're gonna have to take a break here in about 2 minutes, but tell me first off. Let's lay the groundwork. What are the 10 Commandments?
Well, they are 10.
I counted them.
They are.
I know. I counted
them.
They're
in the Old Testament.
Yeah,
they are there.
Well, and that's the other part I want to get into after, not whether or not they should be in public schools or do they even matter anymore?
Yeah, they were taken out of school about 40 years ago, and they were part of the foundational history of our country. Magna Carta, all these things were part of the Declaration of Independence. You may have heard of that. In God We Trust. Those are all there that have been taken out, simultaneously taken out over the years. And so part of the foundation, whether we believe it or not, this is how we got here. If you look at our laws and our executive and our presidents, they quote it from the Bible, the Ten Commandments. Matter of fact, the first book, the Bible, the first school book Congress ever authorized was the Bible. It was the first book that was used in school because it had that. So the issue is, and someone said to me, well, what about the other religion? I said, that's great. Our freedom gives us freedom to have other religions, but those other religions were not founding to our country. The Judeo-Christian is founding to our country, but it gives the access to all other religions. You can't go to Saudi Arabia and all these other places and do that, but you can do it here. So we're not asking you to believe them. We're asking you to understand that this is part of the fabric of our country.
Got it. I will give you my argument on the other side of the break because
I'm waiting for it.
I'm with you. I know they can be a positive thing for the schools. There's other things that I worry about.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm a parent of a private school child. You know what I mean? My child goes to chapel every Thursday.
I know. And I can't wait for December because we're going back there to do the old Christmas thing, which is my favorite of all chapels ever.
6'8" elf playing a guitar.
Yeah. Sure. And I bring some buddies with me.
And he brings other little elves with him. We got to get to a break. Sitting here talking with Pastor Angelo Frazier. We're discussing the 10 Commandments. Should they be displayed in public schools? Your questions, comments, 661-842-5376. It's the JR Show. We'll be right back. My verse of the day.
With
my verse of
SRN
the day every day
News,
at
I'm
2:30.
Keith Peters in Washington. The U.S. military is sending an aircraft carrier to the waters
I
off
am the
South
way and
America
that truth.
in
I
the
use the
latest
Geneva.
escalation of military firepower to a region. A Pentagon spokesman said Friday that the USS Gerald R. Ford and its strike group would deploy to the U.S. Southern Command region to, quote, bolster U.S. capacity to detect, monitor, and disrupt illicit actors and activities that compromise the safety and prosperity of the United States. New York Attorney General Letitia James is scheduled for trial in January after pleading not guilty to federal charges accusing her of lying on mortgage papers to secure favorable loan terms in a case pushed by President Trump. On Wall Street, the Dow by 472 points. More details at srnnews.com.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. Kern County Fire Department officials report that the department has received over $90,000 in grant money from the Office of Traffic Safety. The funds will be used to purchase new extraction equipment called the Jaws of Life. Heading into the weekend, gas prices dropped slightly at stations in Bakersfield this past week. The average price per gallon of regular gas at the pump, according to AAA, is $4.57. That's about a penny lower than it was last week and 3 cents higher than a year ago. Governor Gavin Newsom recently
Little corporal punishment around here might strain a couple of heads out.
Plants that reportedly
All
has
you
some
gotta do is
clean
one
energy
in the
and
town
climate
square
change
in it.
groups speaking out against the vetoes. I'm John Shearer in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
California Fruit Depot has invited us back to advertise after their wildly successful free lemon promotion that we did last time.
Back here once again.
I don't know if you know this, but we were considered for nomination for a Marconi Radio Excellence Award for our last spot.
No way.
California Fruit Depot, they invited us back to let people know about Falltoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Yes. First of all, I think if you put fest at the end of anything, it sounds more inviting and more welcoming. It's going to be a good time.
You know
I think everyone will enjoy it. It's kind of a place where you can get your picture taken with a fall scene. You can play cornhole. More of a static display. But at the same time, come on out.
That's what they did in the Bible. We take them out of the city.
Fresh squeezed orange
Take
juice,
them right out of the
smoothies
city. You go
of all
outside
different
the city
flavors.
walls.
How do we get taken? Just like last night, we're out in Edison, south side of 58, exit 119, which is 911. And we're on Red Bank Road. Google us, please. Listen, if you can't use Google to get to us, we don't need you.
We don't want you.
Do you have a problem with Maroon 5?
Not at all.
A lot of people do. Maroon 5 or Coldplay.
Kiss cam.
Next week,
Google us at CalFruitDepot.com.
The Ralph Bailey Show.
I
Weekdays
want
from
to talk
3 to
about
6
next
p.m.
week.
We're in the second longest shutdown in American history.
I want to talk
and
about
the Democrats are holding on to the ACA subsidies. But the reality is the termination period was established by the Democrats. There are people making more than $500,000 that are getting tax credits on this thing. It's crazy. Just sign the CR.
Because I don't think we should.
Keep the government open and then let's negotiate.
On News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
But as Christians, should we be celebrating Halloween?
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now,
that's a difference, though. And don't pass it off to me as some harvest carnival either. This song brought me to tears a little bit last night. I just because it talks about, God, no matter what you do, he's always going to be standing there for you, and you can screw up, and every time you turn around, he's going to be right there again, and it's his grace on grace on grace, and he just keeps giving you a million chances to come back to him, and he stands there every single time, and it fills me with joy. But also, like, I don't want to have to like take that grace for granted so much. You know what I mean?
Amen. I do know what you mean. So it's true. It's real. It's true.
Yeah. It hits me. And so I love songs that do that to me. And when she sang it last night, it was just even more because her voice is just,
Yeah.
And then to watch my daughter standing there at 8 years old worshiping too.
What do you think about the impact it's going to have on her?
Oh yeah.
And that her dad did this for her.
If there's any reward that I have on this earth, because I don't look for my rewards down here, my reward's up in heaven. But if there's one, it's watching her grow in God.
Okay, cool.
That's the one thing I want to make sure I take care of before I leave, is that she knows not who I am, but who God is. Because I'm not going to be here one day, but God always will be. And so that's what I try to instill in her. Don't worry about me.
Okay. You're right.
That's all.
You're right.
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. We're talking with Pastor Angelo Frazier. We're going to discuss the 10 Commandments. What is it? Who took it up the other day? The Board of Education?
Yeah, Board of Education, which is under the Kern County Superintendent School. They meet in that building.
Okay. And so they passed a resolution.
Yeah, we were working that resolution for quite a while since last year, just to get it finalized into the form. And we finally got it on the agenda last board meeting. It's going to come up for the vote on the 13th.
On November 13th, there will be a vote on whether or not to display the 10 Commandments
in the public area in the school.
And and as a part of that, it's not supposed to be used as teaching instruction, right?
No, it's just it's informational. It's going to be in the public area of the school, along with the Declaration of Independence, the Magna Carta, the Pledge of Allegiance. All these things that have been, they're part of who we are as a country.
And you obviously have been a big proponent of this for some time.
I have.
You've been working on it. Why do you feel like it's so important that we need to get this in front of kids?
Well,
because I'll make the argument that yes, it would be impactful on kids that might not be able to find or have that in their life somewhere to go, oh, okay, yeah, and teach them that.
Okay.
But I'm scared.
Well, absolutely. And you have every right to be. One of the things, when I came to California, I started off at Youth for Christ. Well, actually, before I came to California, I ran a group home in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ran for a couple of years, adolescent young boys and kids. It was always fascinating to them. And they were from all walks of life. They weren't believers necessarily. But when it talked about, because when you came in the group home, we had a set of standards that they were, and they were looking at us like we were just chicken from Mars. They were like, what do you mean standards? When I'm home, I do what the heck I want. And I said, well, you have standards in school? When I go to school, I do what the heck I want. The teacher bows to me and all. And these are 12 and 13, 14-year-olds. So Youth for Christ, when I came here, I did a lot of family ministry, at-risk ministry, same thing. Kids that we were dealing with off the street in school, BHS. I mean, these kids had no idea of any type of standards. And that's where this comes from for me. I'm thinking, and I would ask them, do you guys know what the Constitution? They're like, the who, the what? They had no idea. So I said, why don't we have a place? Is there a place in school where they reestablish these things for information to let people know how this country got to be the way it is? And I looked around for years and it was no. So I said, well, then why don't I do it? And there you go.
But why the 10 Commandments?
Well, the 10 Commandments are part of the historical record. They're part of the documents that have helped found this country. They're also part of, where did they come from? You just mentioned that moment with God.
Yeah.
The Bible tells us that God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. He gave it to him twice because Moses.
Yeah, the first time he came down, they were all screwed up, and they were a cat of gold, and then
Let's go, Dodgers!
That's right, baby. You see the blue back there.
Let's go. Where's the broom?
We can't bring out the broom yet. Hold on. Let's get through the first two games.
There's only one person can do. Keep telling he's gonna push it. There's only one person can do that. Ralph can just jump in and just take over.
Get out of my shot.
Yeah, there you go, Ralph.
Hey,
come on.
Ralph, get out of my. Katie Porter.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, part of the idea is that God is for everyone. See, what happens when there's now this kind of division between the religious people over here and the secular people over here. It was never meant to be that way. I think for God so loved the world, that message is not just for Christians. That message is for everyone. And so then what do we do? If we say that, you like you mentioned, you believe in God.
Yes.
That doesn't force anyone else to believe in God. But if I said, how was this country founded? Well, here are the things that were there. You look at our presidents, executives, and our leaders, over forefathers, they all quoted from the Bible and the 10 Commandments. Matter of fact, I was born and raised in Washington, D.C. I grew up around monuments with things carved into them, Bible verses carved in. I used to run up and down the steps of the Supreme Court, and on the side of the thing, you can see all the religious leaders all over the world they have up there carved in there, but the one in the middle is Moses holding the 10 Commandments. So even in our country, we have said by position that there's something unique about Moses, the 10 Commandments, our laws, and our laws are based on that. You can't go to Saudi Arabia or anywhere else. Or I lived in Germany. You're not going to find that there because their laws aren't based on that.
But that's the freedom, right? Is I don't have to have that, see that, or taught that, and so you get into the argument of its separation of church and state, obviously,
which is actually not in the Constitution. Danbury Baptist. It was a letter written. Well, I think Benjamin Franklin. I think it was Thomas Jefferson. One of them. I'm just messing with you. Look, a lot of these arguments that have come forward are not constitutional, but they've been handed down to us, and we think that they are. We think we just accept them as they are. When you go look at it, for instance, Roe v. Wade. For many, many years, we were told that it was a constitutional right to have an abortion, right? And we found that it's not.
No, it was a Supreme Court decision.
Supreme Court decided the Declaration of the Constitution is 3 pages long. I think something like 3 pages. Well, they wrote a 65-page thesis to try to inject abortion into the Constitution, and it doesn't work. And it's the same thing with this, that we understand that who is behind all this. You have to believe in God. That's not what this is about. This is about having to understand that this is how it was made, this is how it was done. And through that influence, you may want to believe, or you may not want to believe. But that's really what we're seeking to do. The historical nature has been lost in our schools, and I want to establish that. I'm just one person doing one thing. There are other things that people can do. I just think this is what God put on my heart to do.
When we talk about the freedom, so
absolutely
right, and the freedom to worship whoever, and don't you you think
absolutely
maybe intrude on that?
No, I don't think so at all. As a matter of fact, I think it helps in that. You look at the fact that you have money in your pocket,
right? Let me check
because you work here for the station, so you probably have more money than I do. Okay, now
look at that! I got 2 20s.
Now, what does it say on the back of that? In God, who?
In God we trust.
Okay, now, does that mess up your life? Because if it does, hand me the money.
Well, the 20 does, but not the saying on the back of it.
But the saying on the back of it, does it change what you believe?
No.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So the fact that these things are in our culture, because this is part of our foundation, is part of who we are. Whether you're Muslim or Jewish or whatever, you still use that money.
Don't you think we open up the door, though, to other practices and saying, okay, well, if we allow this to be displayed, then we also have to allow this. It's kind of like when we go, okay, we have to allow the student-run Bible study group. We also have to allow the student-run atheist group, or the student-run LGBTQ group, or with the student-run this group. It would be the same thing in that argument. And then I would say now we're just distracting from what we're here to actually do, which is learn.
Well, apples and oranges, first of all. It's a great point you brought up, but they're apples and oranges when you talk about different groups coming in and versus distraction. We're talking about foundational things about this country. Different groups, Islam, I think, is not a foundational religion in this country. People practice it here, absolutely. I have no problem with that at all. Or Buddhism, although I'd like for them to come to know Jesus, but the fact is, you have freedom of religion here. But they were not.
Muslims know Jesus.
Do you want to have another show?
That's a whole different conversation. So, Jesus is the most quoted prophet in the Quran.
Yeah, and one of the things that we got to understand is I'm talking about the F word, foundational. Those are the religions, and we have many. There are thousands of them. They're not foundational. Judeo-Christian is what founded this country. And whether we agree with it or not doesn't change what it's been. And this is what I'm saying. Our kids are struggling with boundaries and understanding where, how did our country get to be the way it is? People are being taught that 1776 is really not the foundation of our country anymore, 1619, all this stuff. And just going, wait a second. No, 1776 is the foundation of our country. These are the documents and things that were there. These are the ones that they drew from to do what they did, and what led them and made this city on the hill what it is today. I think the most blessed nation on the planet. And this is why I believe with so many people coming here.
Do you think it's going to be as impactful though? Because you talked about it, and I was having the conversation with somebody else earlier about how my daughter goes to private school, and so I want that because I want her to get the same things that are reinforced at home, in church, and at school. So that's my choice to send her to a private school to be able to do those. Isn't the home the most impactful place? So if we don't have the 10 Commandments or the Bible in our home, is it going to be as impactful if it is on campus?
It probably will not be, and I agree with you. But I think what I'm looking for and what I hope is that it has an influence on your learning. You mentioned schools about learning. This is about learning, have people learn, have them begin to investigate what the Constitution is. Have them to investigate what the Magna Carta is.
Or even debate the 10 Commandments.
Absolutely. Have them debate
I think those are conversations we need to have.
I'm 100% agree with you. I think that's enough. But it needs to be in a learning environment.
Does it need to be at an elementary level?
Yes.
Why?
Start right there, because that's when we learn. We see things at a young age that register with us. And we begin to, when we get older, begin to ask questions about that. I ask questions about what this is.
I ask what the faith all the time.
There you go. And that's probably how the show came about. Yeah, absolutely. Because influence is different than some guy mentioned the other day. Well, we're not forcing anything. We're going before school councils, which are secular, making a resolution, just like anyone else can do, and making a proposal saying this is what we desire for the school. The schools can say, the heck with you guys, go pound sand, or they can consider it. I'll never forget when we were doing the In God We Trust on police cars. I had a call from the LA Times. They called me. They said, Pastor, we understand that you're involved in a controversial thing up in Bakersfield. And I was like, controversial? And they said, yeah, In God We Trust on police cars. And I was like, well, that's our national motto. Yeah, but it's controversial. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, first of all, we've gone before city councils, school board, city councils, none of that. We've never gone before Christian organizations, for First Baptist Church, First Presbyterian. We've gone before secular agencies, and they have okayed it. As a matter of fact, In God We Trust came about by a minister had contacted, I believe, the Secretary of State during the Civil War and said, this is a good way to raise the morale by putting In God We Trust on the coins. And it eventually got put on the coins to raise the morale because of the troops, so that they had realized that there was something bigger than themselves to fight for. Therefore, that's what we have.
I'm just scared that it opens the door to.
I think it opens the opportunity for people to begin to talk about their different faiths and religion, and not to be afraid to. Absolutely, I have no problem. But what we're talking about is foundational issues. If other people want to talk about other faiths and petition, just like we have to bring those things in, then they can do the same thing.
Would you be open to
it? The schools decide what they want. I'm biased, but the schools decide what they. And see, this is why I don't get to make that decision, JR.
Right.
I get to present it, and then they get to decide, and that's where it goes.
If you had to guess, how do you think it's going to go in November?
I'm just praying that they make the vote.
To display them.
I'm praying that they make the vote.
Come on, Pastor.
Yeah, I'm praying they make the vote.
Look, I'm with you. I'm
praying that the vote is taken, because the vision that I received years ago was simply just get the information to the school board. You're not manipulating, micromanaging. Just get it to them. Whatever their decision is, that's their decision.
I'm with you that I think it could be a positive thing. I believe in God, and I believe that this country was founded in Christian beliefs.
But I think this is not only for. I think it's for people who don't believe in God. I think it's for people to understand how our country was founded and to see the magnificence of what God has done in this country through secular organizations.
Even if that's God telling you, you don't even have to believe in me.
No, that's not what it's about. It's about informing and learning.
But we're not going to use it for learning.
Once you get informed about it, you're going to want to learn, why are those there?
Right.
What does that mean? And you're going to ask questions. And that's when learning begins. And that's how we were made. We were made to be inquisitive.
So then should we put it in government class in high school then and just leave it there?
I get it in every institution we can get it in.
I'm sure you would. You put it in PE for second graders.
I sure would.
Pastor, thanks for stopping by today. I appreciate you, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you, sir. I might drag you in next week because I want to debate whether or not Christians should be celebrating Halloween. I'm a bah humbug Christian. I'm one of those. I'm like a Calvinist. I'm like,
It's not so much as our celebrations are the issue of what our intent is. I'll leave it at that.
We'll pick up the conversation next week because next Friday is Halloween. And it just so happens to fall on a Friday.
Go to your nearest harvest festival.
And that's the other thing. Don't try to disguise it as a harvest carnival or a fall festival. It's Halloween. It's a trunk or treat. Y'all are passing out candy. Your paganism, religion. You're laying demons in your house. You're inviting evil spirits into your home. You're inviting
Bring the Ouija board.
You're inviting evil spirits into your home.
Bring the Ouija board.
I'm just saying, Pastor.
Yeah, I know.
We'll talk about it next week.
That'd be great.
That's what we do on the What the Faith. We take up the hard topics. And
I love what this is about, and I listen to you. I listen to a couple of the shows number of shows you're doing, and I love this platform and what you've done. And I think this is what makes Bakersfield great. Yeah, you have the freedom to get here and to do. You're doing what Charlie Kirk did. Charlie Kirk was a believer,
right?
But his organization was not a believer.
Right. Well, then I question everything. It's my cynical nature to question everything.
And that's what we want. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Look at those commandments and say, why are they there? Why is that important? And then see what God does.
We'll see what God does on November 13th when they make that vote.
That's right.
Thanks again for stopping in. Pastor Angelo Frazier, tell them how they can attend service this weekend.
You can attend at 9 or 10:30 at River Lakes Community Church at Hageman and Callaway. Come on out there. And we look forward. By the way, we do have a harvest festival.
They have a harvest festival coming up tomorrow.
10 to 2, 10 to 3. It's not disguised as
Halloween.
Halloween. It is actually a community outreach that we have.
We're not passing out candy.
We actually are passing out candy.
There'll be no costumes allowed.
We have ministries that will tell you what our church is doing in the community, and we'd love for you to come by. There are hot dogs as well.
So tomorrow, the Harvest Carnival from 10 to 3?
2.
10 to 2, and then Sunday service at
9 and 10:30 at River Lakes Community Church, right there in the same Callaway and Hageman.
On the corner of Callaway and Hageman. I'll stop by tomorrow for the Harvest Carnival.
Stop by. It'll be fun.
We'll talk a little bit about whether or not we should be there.
And then we'll get to a definition of what really harvest means.
Let's do
The
it.
harvest is plentiful, but the work is a few. 24 days, 24/7.
I'm trying to work. I'm trying to do the Great Commission, sir.
1180.
I got to get to a break. Thank you, Pastor Angelo Frazier, for stopping by. On the other side, we'll take your text messages, comments, 661-842-KERN. It's the JR Show. We'll be right back. I love it. I love it.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll talk jobs with America's Job Center at Kern. It's basically a given I'm going to win football picks, but we'll find out by how much, and we'll back all of that up with news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on a worldwide webs at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's finally Friday, and boy, do I need it. I need the stockyard in my life. I got no plans. It's time for Dad to relax. Get an adult beverage, have Haley behind the bar take care of me. Maybe get me some steak bites or a shrimp cocktail, something off the menu from Casey's Steakhouse. You're wondering, where am I? I am at 2525 F Street, the Stockyard. Little speakeasy located right next to Casey's Steakhouse from the folks that brought you Casey's Steakhouse. Go over there. You're going to see the rope, the red carpet. Ring the bell. They're going to ask you the password. Tell them, why not JR? Then be prepared to relax. I need some Lade playing the acoustic guitar in my life to set the atmosphere for a wonderful, relaxing weekend. And I look no further than the Stockyard, 2525 F Street. Come on down and join me. Just make sure you tell them the password, why not JR?
Paid for by tour provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit bigblue.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistake? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-9336. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems. If you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-9336. That's 800-444-9336 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-444-9336.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. November 25th, Dignity Health Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com and AXS.com. Don't miss this season's most Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
And Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2.1 and AM 1180 KERN. JR Show.
I said things.
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. Little Jamie McDonald for you. I saw her last night in Visalia. I made a reel. It was just so happened we jumped in the car about 3:30 yesterday to head down there, me and my daughter. And that song came on the radio. And so I told my daughter, here, we're gonna try something out. And we shot a little video of her kind of singing it. And then she put, you know how the new thing is, you put your hand over the camera and then it switches to a different place or whatever. So she's in the car singing the song, and then she puts her hand like that, and then she's automatically in the concert, the front row, and she goes like that, and boom, it's Jamie McDonald right behind her on stage singing the exact same song she was just listening to the car. And I shared it this morning, and I tagged Jamie McDonald on Instagram on it. She shared it this afternoon. And I think my daughter's going to flip out when I tell her that Jamie McDonald actually shared the reel that we made of her singing that song. So she's gonna get a kick out of that. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KRN. Jen Bowden just entered the room. We did something wrong. Whenever Jen Bowden enters the room, we screwed up with something. I want to thank Pastor Angelo Frazier for stopping by, discussing the 10 Commandments in school and whether or not they should be displayed. He is a big proponent of that. I have my reservations. I don't know if for sure they should be. I worry about it opening up the potential for other people wanting to display different religions and different sayings and different plaques or whatever they believe. And so I worry that we open up that door, and then again, now we're just causing distractions. And as much as I want to spark those conversations to be had, I'm not sure if, like, at an elementary school level, that's where we should be having those. Just my opinion. Maybe once we get into like high school and college. Parents, don't have schools teach your kids something that you should be teaching first in the home. The greater impact will always come from your own house. On that note, we got to get out of here. It's a Friday. I'm headed down to Houchin. I'm going to give some platelets. I'll be out at the Woolworths opening this weekend. Come find me hanging down on the corner of History and Hope. That's Woolworths grand opening this weekend. Stay tuned for the Ralph Bailey Show. Rick Bentley from KGET will talk entertainment. It's the JR Show. Lily, Dad loves you.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Trump administration says it has carried out a 10th strike
All right, you
on a
guys. Thanks for hanging
suspected
out
drug
today.
boat.
Enjoyed the
Correspondent Donald
conversation,
Warder
Sergio.
reports.
I love you, my
Defense
brother.
Secretary Pete Hegseth says the
Love
U.S.
you,
military
man.
has carried out another
Go
strike
Dodgers.
on a vessel in the
See you
Caribbean
guys down
suspected of
at
carrying drugs.
the Woolworths
6
opening
people
this
were
weekend. Come
killed
find
in
me.
the overnight strike. In a social media post, Hegseth blames the